All right, YouTube, what is going on? It is Zaya here from Zaya&TheSteelers back with another video. And in today's video, I am going to be discussing the Steelers' final preseason game and the preseason overall as we look ahead to the regular season. So if you guys are Steelers fans or you enjoy NFL content in general, be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications. We are on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Shout out to the people who have subscribed already. And shout out to the future subscribers, man. Also, let's get a shout out to the members. If you guys would like to support me and this channel more, be sure to hit that join button. And man, the regular season is almost here, bro. Let's get a gunshot. We have outlived the training camp process. We have outlived the NFL draft. We have outlived the Brandon Ayuk trade saga. We have outlived the preseason. And the next time I will be talking about a Steelers game, it'll be about a game that matters, man, because as we found out last year, the preseason doesn't matter. And then we fast forward to this year. We start out 0-2. I believe it looks like we're going to win this third preseason game. So we finished the preseason 1-2. But it's just humbling, you know, it's just humbling. Like, it's crazy how fast the regular season actually got here. And I just remember last season as well, kind of making these videos around the same point. Like if we look at 824 last year, I was like, hey, man, we're on the road to 100 subscribers. Now we're on the road to 1,000. Maybe next time we'll be on the road to 5,000. I don't know. We'll see. But the narratives that's been coming out, the narratives around the Pittsburgh Steelers have not been pretty good given this preseason process. I believe we were pretty excited going into it. And then, like, as the games went on, it was just like, oh, this offense, man, this offense is looking a little spooky again. Oh, man, like, what is going on? Is it Justin Fields? Is it Russell Wilson? Is it John Reese Plumlee? Is it Kyle Allen? Is it Arthur Smith? We were trying to, is it the offensive line? The offensive line's been taking it a little bit. The offensive line didn't look the best in this preseason process, but that could be because, you know, because of injury one, Troy Fautanu's been out. But then also, too, we've been kind of shuffling people around, trying to figure out what combination works best. Zach Frazier also didn't initially start in this, whole preseason process. I believe that was Nate Herbig who was starting at center at first because, you know, we're the Steelers and you got to earn it. So it is what it is. We all understand that. But the narrative surrounding this last game, right, is just our offense is just, it was just showing nothing. Justin Fields was showing like all right. Same thing with Russell Wilson. He was showing like all right. But like we've been through all right. We've had the Kenny Pickett's of the world. We've had the Masons of the world. We've had the old Big Bens of the world. We've had all right. We need to start excelling. You know, that is where we needed to be. That is why we fired Matt Canada. That is why we brought in Arthur Smith. That's why we've done all of these moves, is because we need to start excelling on offense, right? And so I have this tweet up. This is, of course, before this game. Abysmal. The Steelers' 13 preseason drives with Russell Wilson or Justin Fields in at quarterback. Punt, 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 punt. Miss field goal, punt, field goal. Shout out to, but miss field goal is crazy. Even Boswell, let's get it together. But punt, field goal, turnover on downs, turnover on downs, turnover on downs. The Pittsburgh offense is in rough shape, right? And so, of course, he names Russell Wilson and Justin Fields in that quarter. Like, he names these guys, right? But we all know because of the offensive line play, because of, you know, maybe the lacking receiver additions, just there's a lot of other factors other than, you know, just Russell Wilson and Justin Fields being bad, right? Like, there's a bunch of other factors. However, we don't give a fuck about that. It is a quarterback league. And so if you're a quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers, if you're a quarterback anywhere else, sorry, my voice is like going. If you're a quarterback for anywhere else, you know, you're going to take the brunt of it, man. And so this was the narrative. Like, we were all looking forward to some good play this preseason. We were all looking forward to some good play in this last preseason game. And we finally got it, man. We finally got it. I have some plays up here. First of all, we have a big Russell Wilson pass to George Pickens. Right here, you can see this is like a 30-yard dot. George Pickens just absolutely just, you know, George Pickens is a monster, man. The guy is wide open. And mind you, this is against the Lions, like 18th stringers. I don't think they played a single starter, which for us works out great because, you know, we looked really good. It was finally, like, entertaining to watch a Steelers preseason game. The last two, I'm not going to lie, they've been snooze fests. But, yeah, Russell Wilson right here, just an absolute dot to George Pickens. Like, this is a connection that I think is going to grow over the season. And speaking of this, so there was a quarterback controversy, wasn't there? There was a quarterback controversy for a second. However, we saw in this game, Russell Wilson played one drive. We scored a touchdown, which I'll have the touchdown up here in a second. I'll show it in a second. Russell Wilson played one drive and then got the fuck out of town because, you know, he sat the bench. Justin Fields came in. Justin Fields played for a little bit. Then he went back out. But to me, this is a sign of, okay, Russell Wilson is quarterback one. You know, we can debate all day. We can say maybe Justin Fields is better at this point. Maybe Russell Wilson is worse at this point. It's, you know, it's whatever. It remains to be seen, right? But to the Steelers, to what they've been saying, and to be fair, to give them credit, this is what they have said the whole time. It is only people like me and only, you know, reading the tea leaves, reading what's actually going on right here with the team. It was only people like me who was saying, you know, maybe, just maybe, it's a quarterback battle. I'm sorry, by the way, if you can hear, like, shit upstairs. Shit's going crazy up there. But It was only me who was like creating this quarterback battle. At one point, Mike Tomlin did say that, it wasn't open competition. And, for a second it was. But Russell Wilson playing one drive, us scoring, and then him getting the hell out of there. That to me just shows, okay, Russell Wilson is going to be the starter for week 1. Now, past week 1, week 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever happens, whether it's injury, whether it's bad play, whether our offense just doesn't show up, whatever happens, remains to be seen. But for now, week 1, Russell Wilson is going to be the starting quarterback. And, Russell Wilson starting is something that I, in the past, have said was the ultimate cook, was like the smarter move. And today, I still feel that same way. I got a little caught up in the Justin Fields Kool-Aid. I got a little caught up in the, hype of it all, of him actually becoming the starter. But the smart idea, of course, was to have Russell Wilson become the starter for at least the beginning of the season. Then we go from there, right? He has the NFL reps. He has the deep playoff runs. He has like the career stats. You know what I'm saying? Like Russell Wilson at one point was a guy who was like leading teams to the promised land. Whether you want to say it was the defense, what are we, a defensive team? So like kind of potato. Whether you want to say it was because of this, because it was that, Russell Wilson was in those positions. He was in those moments. And we want to win this season. We saw us damn near fucking force trading a Brandon Ayuk trade because we want to win this season, if not, next season. We want to win in the immediate future. This isn't like let's see where we're at later. Like, no, if we can compete and win this year, we're going to try to compete and win this year. And so Russell Wilson, I believe, brings us closer to that than Justin Fields right now. But it wasn't the craziest preseason. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't like the most, the most footage we got to see. It wasn't like the craziest plays, and like we didn't really open up the playbook too crazy. And so I don't know. It still remains to be seen because one day Justin Fields is probably going to be our quarterback, and I just don't want any footage of me being like, oh, he has to sit the bench. I don't want none of that footage to exist, man. So for right now, Russell Wilson, he can do his thing. He can ball out. But Justin Fields too, he played pretty well as well. So like we're in a great position in Pittsburgh, low key. Next up, I have another play right here. This was the touchdown that on the Russell Wilson drive, and you can see it was a handoff to Cordo Patterson. And right before this, Cordo Patterson had a run that was like stuffed, and for a split second, I was like, damn, man, is Cordo Patterson done? Is he washed? Like, for a split second, I was thinking that, and then this run happened the next play. You see the cut. You see 84 in a Steelers jersey. Who do you think of? I think of Cordo Patterson. Ladies and gentlemen, I am so happy with this addition, and I don't know why we haven't had this guy returning kicks. I know John Reese Plumlee, like, he needed something to do. I don't know if he's actually going to play in this preseason or game. But, Cordo Patterson, of course, he is a weapon on that like kick return, punt return thing. And then we look at Jaylen Warren, who's like missing time right now with an injury. Cordo Patterson became like our RB2. So, okay, maybe we can't use him for that. But this guy is still a very talented runner, and he's somebody who's going to be like an explosive part of our offense. We look at him, we look at like the Connor Haywards, we look at like the Calvin Austins, you know what I'm saying? Like the Darnell Washingtons even. Like these are guys who are going to be Swiss Army knife pieces. These are guys we're going to look to in like this red zone situation. Be like, hey, we need a touchdown. Cordo Patterson, all you did in fantasy football was score touchdowns. We're at like what? The like 35 right now. Just an absolute banger from Cordo Patterson. And then of course Russell Wilson, this was like his last drive. He gets like the handoff, we get the touchdown, he gets the fuck out of there. Russell Wilson had like 2 or 3 completions on the same drive, and so like things look good, things look really good, mind you too. I said this before, but like Detroit wasn't playing anybody. Like I don't even think Isaiah Buggs got on the field this play, and that was a joke. And Isaiah Buggs is going through some other things. I know he was on the Lions, but you know what I'm saying, like nobody on the Lions was playing today. And so you take this with a grain of salt, but I'm watching Cordo Patterson absolutely make defenders miss, looking like me in NCAA 25. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just like it was a good time. It is a good day in Pittsburgh, man. It's been a while since like we got to be hype about shit. Like I said too, I'm recording this while the game is happening. I seen Kyle Allen come out there, and I'm not gonna lie, I tell the full truth to you guys. I just wasn't in the mood for some Kyle Allen football, and I have things to do later, so I wanted to get this video out. But yeah, Cordo Patterson, he's just an absolute beast. And Russell Wilson, quarterback 1, he's an absolute beast as well. Next up, sorry about that. Next up, though, we have a Justin Fields drive. This was his first drive of the game, and this is actually the whole drive. So we're gonna start it out. With Justin Fields. He's gonna hand the ball off, pretend it's gonna be play action pass. Okay, finding Big Van Jefferson over there. You already know Big Van Jefferson, man, not the little one. Next up, what do we got now? Now we're gonna have a nice little run by Justin Fields. Okay, nice little 2-yard gain. That is a Pittsburgh Steelers first down. And then next up, what are we gonna do? Justin Fields faking the handoff for the wide open over the middle. This is what we've been clamoring for. This is what we've been asking for. These passes over the middle. Now Justin Fields on the quarterback quarterback keeper, gonna try to score. He gets right there. He gets so close. We didn't end up getting it in though. But then of course we hand it off to Michael P. Ryan, and we just get an easy touchdown right there. And it was just a good drive out of Justin Fields. Like I said, the offensive line and like just the overall results of the drive, whether it was like punt, you know what I'm saying? It just wasn't looking good. It wasn't looking good for the narrative of like, okay, offense is back in Pittsburgh. Justin Fields is back. Russell Wilson is back. It just wasn't looking good. And so to have the first drive ended in a touchdown, and then Justin Fields comes in, he makes plays like this. To have this happen, like it hyped us up. You know what I'm saying? Like it hyped me up. It made me excited to record a video. Watching Justin Fields on the goal line too was magical, even though he didn't end up getting this one in. I know eventually he will score these. And then Michael P. Ryan, man, what a preseason for Michael P. Ryan. In our running back room, of course, we have Nas, Jalen, Cordero. But I feel like Michael P. Ryan is someone who can make the team. I was also a fan of Jonathan Ward. Like we just had a lot of good running backs in Pittsburgh, man. That's why oh my goodness, man, if I got to do this again. But I have a video a while ago when they were like ranking the AFC North's position and running backs, like the Ravens won easily. And it's just like, fam, we got 7 running backs on the team that would probably start for a lot of other teams. Like Michael P. Ryan, I think could be someone's backup based on this preseason. We just have, we just have too many pieces right there. You can see down at the bottom, this has absolutely nothing to do with anything, but I am seeing the Panthers down there. Bryce Young, 6 for 8, stolen Heisman from Kenny Pickett. But anyway, Deontay Johnson looking pretty good in the Panthers jersey, man. That's all I wanted to say about that. But back to the running back thing. Michael P. Ryan, I think he had a really good preseason. I hope he ends up making the team. And then players like Jonathan Ward, we will see what ends up happening. Maybe like a practice squad designation, maybe something. But yeah, like just the vibes in Pittsburgh right now are high because of this game. And, I'm excited. Like I said, I'm excited. And once again, this was a really good drive out of Justin Fields. We've been looking for offense. We've been clamoring for it. The punt thing. It was just too much. The preseason, I'm not gonna lie, this preseason was boring as hell. Like, I'll admit, it was boring as hell. Compared to last year when we were just smoking teams, backups. Like this one was boring as hell. But yeah, man, like Justin Fields, he's inspirational too. And I believe he didn't get many drives either. Like, look at this pass over the middle. I just love watching this pass. We didn't get many drives either. I think he got like 2 or 3. And there was a drive where like there was a fumbled snap again, whether that was on Zach Frazier or Justin Fields, I don't know. But that can't keep happening with Fields out there, like regardless of, whoever's fault it was. And maybe that's something that like, okay, we keep shuffling quarterbacks, we keep shuffling like offensive linemen. Quarterbacks have different cadences, quarterbacks have different, styles of doing things. And so us using 2 different ones so frequently can cause some commotion. So, maybe you chalk it up to that. I'm not sure, but something I haven't really mentioned yet. But, okay, so we'll talk about this real quick, but then I'm going to go in about something. But the Steelers special team unit is a trip so far this preseason. Way too many penalties. Some of these kick returns getting dangerously close to breaking 2. This is a fact. This is something I've been noticing, and it's like, bruh, like why are we getting no yards like on these kick returns, and then all of a sudden we kick it, we punt it, and these teams are just getting like 50 on us, bro. This is getting a little spooky. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know how bad it has to look for me as Mr. Casual, me as like, I hate special teams and all that. I only like kickers. Like, you know how bad it has to look for me and, Nick Farable. I don't want to call him out. He's a very good reporter and all this, and I'm sure he really cares about special teams. But you know what I'm saying? Like, you know how bad it has to look for us to be talking about like the gunner on special teams. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just not looking good, man. So we got to figure out how we can like eliminate some of these yards on these punts, because we're probably gonna punt a lot, man. Given this offense, we're probably gonna punt a lot. And Cameron Johnson, he's a fantastic punter. Like the air is there, like the distance is there. It's just now about like making the tackle upon catching of the ball. You know what I'm saying? Not let him catch the ball, shake him off, and get 15 more yards. You know what I'm saying? This has happened continuously this preseason. This continues to happen, and it's like. Last season, who was our punter? Presley Harvin, last season he was going through some things, but the punts just weren't there, and it was like they were getting the ball at like the 50 because the punts were bad. Now they're getting the ball at like the 50 because we can't make a tackle. You know what I'm saying? So like it's just, it's a constant battle, 1,000-year blood war, for example, and it's a constant battle. But we'll figure it out. But it's things like this, it's glaring things like this that it's like, okay, we patch this up. The line starts to block, we complete some passes, and it's like, holy shit, the Steelers are going to the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just shit like this, right? But now, this tweet right here, I'm going to kind of, branch off a bit. But this tweet right here, Herbig is to the point where he is just too good to be playing backup tackles. Facts. Nick Herbig is a beast, bro. Watching him play, watching like Keanu Benton play, it gives me so much hope for the future. It gives me so much like just so much like appreciation of this team and how good we can draft sometimes, man. I know that the drafts, the first round picks have been a little iffy. It's been a little spooky. It's like, why we take Kenny? Why we do this? Why we do that? I get it, right? But Nick Herbig was an absolute home run. Alex Highsmith was an absolute home run. Peyton Wilson is a bit early, but was an absolute home run. Keanu Benton was an absolute home run. Our defense, and granted it is preseason, but if we can make narratives like when we play good in preseason that we're going to win the Super Bowl, right? When, you know, Kenny Pickett looked good on offense, we're going to win the Super Bowl, offense is back, right? We got that narrative off, right? And then when we weren't looking good, it was like we can get the narratives off of like the offense still sucks. You know what I'm saying? We can get that narrative off, right? Our defense, and granted, this is the Lions' third stringers, but our defensive line is not fucking around this year, man. Like, and you look at all of the preseason games, we've been in it, bro. Our defense is flying the fuck around. There's been, you know, some cases of wide open receivers. We know our secondary is a bit, you know what I'm saying? Like, we know that happens a lot, and like that's continuously happened in Pittsburgh for generations to come. You know what I'm saying? Like, the ancestors told me stories of wide open Ross Cockrell coverage receive. You know what I'm saying? Like, the ancestors tell me this all the time, you know? So it is a battle that we have constantly fought. It is a battle that, you know, hopefully we're bridging the gap closer in the secondary department. But we know our secondary is our pass rush. And our pass rush, like, we need to figure out a way for Nick Herbig to hit the field more. And, like, we look at TJ and we look at Alex, and it's like, how? Like, how are we going to take a TJ a 99 overall? You know what I'm saying? Like, literally a 90. I think he's like a 96, but Madden, their haters, and PFF probably paid for that. TJ Watt is a 99, right? Alex Highsmith, to me, is like a solid 90. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's a 90. I think in Madden, actually, he's like an 88 or some shit, but it's still pretty high. You know what I mean? It's still pretty high. But, like, how do you take out a 9? Like, how do you take out either player, you know what I'm saying, for Nick Herbig, who, to me, I would say Nick Herbig right now is like an 80 with like superstar X factor, like, you know, the trait, you know, because every time this guy plays, it's like, holy shit, he is dominant. You know what I mean? Like, this guy, and he's not a starter. Maybe he would be a starter on a different team, but like, he's technically not a starter. And so we look at him with his peers, which his peers are not starters. If he's not a starter, his peers are not starters, right? We look at him amongst his peers. I said this shit last season. I remember making these same takes last season about Nick Herbig. We look at Nick Herbig against the competition that he is put against, and he is the absolute best player of all time. Nick Herbig looks like IMG Academy versus Bishop Sycamore, man. Like, this guy, he's a monster. And I don't know how we get him out there on the field, but we have to figure it out. Like, Alex Highsmith, you need a break, bro. TJ Watt, you need a break, bro. Come get some Gatorade. Come get something, because Nick Herbig, fam, like, I'm telling you, man, it kind of is sad because, you know, he comes in, right? Like, say he comes in when he does, and like, he just absolutely dominates. That ups his price. You know, it's all a money thing, but it ups his price. And then it's like, we can't pay TJ, Alex, and Nick. And so he goes, right? But then at the same time too, if we don't play him and he just never gets playing time, one, he never gets to like live out his career. He never gets to see that potential. And then two, he's going to leave over the playing time shit, man. And so it's just like a weird situation to be in. But for right now, he is a Steeler and he has great depth. And, you know, like, this guy is a monster, man. He's just an absolute beast. And I want the whole world to know. I want the whole world to know about Nick Herbig, because for right now, it seems to be just Pittsburgh fans, which is cool, which is nice. But we saw it last preseason. The guy's a killer. In his regular season plays that he got to play, the guy's a killer. We fast forward to this preseason, the guy is still a killer, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Netflix documentary, I think FX is going to pick it up, like, Nick Herbig. You know what I'm saying? Like, the story of Nick Herbig, it's an FX drama. Who are they going to have play Nick Herbig? I don't know. Leonardo DiCaprio, John Stamos, Ben Affleck, Tom Holland. I'm just naming people. Was it Nathan Drake? Like, I'm just naming people. Like, whoever, bro. Denzel Washington. Like, anybody can play Nick Herbig as long as they're a top tier. Bryan Cranston. Like, anybody, bro. Like, this guy, he's a beast. And like, one day, I promise. I promise you guys will all know about Nick Herbig. I know we know, Steelers fans, Big Zay and the Steelers fans. I know we know. But out there, they will know. Amen. But other than this, our defense is just elite. Our defense is just like really fucking good when they want to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes, like I said, we let open the wide open passes and it's like we can't stop anything. And it's the highest paid defense. And it's like, highest paid for what? We get to the playoffs and we like let a team drop 40 on us every single time. Like, I get that. But, you know, our regular season games, we got like 17 or 18 regular season games. And for 17 or 18 regular season games, we'd be locking in. And so just if our defense can just like continuously do this, right, and our offense just show us something, we are going to be a really big problem. And nobody cares, nobody knows, but guys, we know. You know what I'm saying? We know. Me and you know that the Steelers are going to be a problem. And we know that Nick Herbig is an absolute beast, bruh. And like I said, this preseason, it was a bit boring. It was definitely a bit like lackluster compared to last year. But we made it, man. We made it through, and we got some. Man, we pretty much got all the answers we needed. Like players like Corey Trice, he actually got to play, and he's probably going to be a big part of our secondary. He's a very physical guy, making tackles out there. Like, you know what I'm saying? Great out of him. We saw like Deshaun Elliott make a name for himself. We seen Minka and TJ, like they're going to be there. Cam got to play. You know what I'm saying? Like we're like, we know what's going to happen on defense. And then on offense, we didn't end up trading for Brandon Ayuk, but we've seen players like Van Jefferson be a big piece. Roman Wilson, who got hurt, was probably going to be a big piece. And then also, too, we know that Russell Wilson is going to be the quarterback, just like we knew that before the preseason started. It was some drama. It was like here, it was there, it was everywhere. And then like it's back to square one with Russell Wilson being the starter. And so, it was cool. It was cool to make it exciting. It was cool to like, have some drama in there. But we got pretty much all the answers we needed. And the last thing I want to bring up, the last thing I want to talk about here is friend of the show. You know what I'm saying? Friend of the show, big Jason McIntyre, man. Why do I have this Jason McIntyre video up? Mind you, it's 3 minutes. We're going to, you know what I'm saying? We're going to play this whole thing, not the whole thing, but we're going to play it from like here because I did see this already and I kind of want to talk about it. Okay. And Jason McIntyre, if you guys don't remember, like, he ranked us like pretty low. He doesn't like the Steelers. It's okay. I get it. It's okay. But like, I want to debate this with him. He's not here like live on the fly, so I'm gonna get him after the fact. You know what I'm saying? Like this is the bet. Like he can do these videos to me, but getting someone after the fact is always the best. And so here we go. This is what he has to say about the Steelers.
Intel said, I don't know about those smartphones. Let's about it. But they missed the window on pivoting to smartphones, and that was a huge.
So he for some context, he talked about like Intel not really giving a fuck about phones and like really only focusing on computers, and like now fast forward, here we are, everyone has an iPhone. Like he's making this analogy
on the part of Intel. They even more recently missed the boat on
Right, come on, Jason.
It's getting bleak over there. And how does this relate to the Pittsburgh Steelers?
How does it relate?
For close to 3 decades.
3 decades.
They have dominated thanks to defense. But the Pittsburgh Steelers, like Intel, missed the pivot to being an offensive league.
Pause it right here. You just got caught. You don't watch football. You just got caught, Jason McIntyre, because I hate this fucking narrative, man. I get it. Like, our offense has been shit for, 5-6 years, whatever. Like, I get it. But at one point, we were this offensive juggernaut team. At one point, we were the killer bees. And, sometimes, like, the killer bees didn't show up. Sometimes people were hurt. Sometimes, this, sometimes that. But we were an offensive team before it was cool. We were an offensive team when teams were still scoring 14 points a game. You know what I'm saying? Like, we tried, like, we were early to the party. Matter of fact, like, we came the day before. Like, the offensive juggernaut power team, the shit is happening on the 24th. We showed up on the 23rd late. You know what I'm saying? Like, we were there, but then that window passed. Like, we didn't end up winning in that window. But to act like we just have never tried to be an offensive juggernaut, to act like it's never happened for us is crazy. It's just not true.
And for reasons that still remain unexplained, the Pittsburgh Steelers, oldest defense in the NFL last season, most expensive defense in the NFL this season.
We're the most expensive defense in the NFL last season as well.
Mike, what are we doing? Now, I know you're not in charge of the roster. That would be the GM, whose name I wrote down here, Omar Khan. I would like to give...
He don't even know Omar Khan, man. He doesn't even know Omar Khan.
Some free advice. Colin and I kind of patented J&C Consulting. Jason and Colin.
I love this guy, Jason McIntyre. I'm not going to lie. Even though, I love this guy.
It was a free advice. Cowherd is, not
he's
here,
giving
so
out
I'll just
free advice.
Fire this off. If you want to turn things around in Pittsburgh, and there is no end in sight the way this team is built. You have no quarterback for the future. Neither quarterback signed beyond this year. Here's a radical idea. Sometimes you need to get radical.
What's up?
I think you got to put TJ Watt on the trading block.
TJ Watt on the trading block? Really? TJ Watt, we suck so bad on offense, we got to trade TJ Watt. This is just crazy, bro. This is absolutely crazy. And mind you, this is on television. This is on, like, you turn the TV on, this is on.
And after your heads are done exploding in Pittsburgh, look at TJ Watt just mauling. Is that Burrow? Yeah, he just
TJ Watt is very good.
I don't know. He's the most popular Steeler. He makes so many incredible plays. Look at that interception, dropping into coverage. TJ Watt can do it all. He is tremendous. So why the hell would you trade him, Jay? You're trading our best defensive player? Because it's not a defensive league. I gave you guys the numbers yesterday. Every playoff game that they've been to and gotten smashed in the last 6 years, they're giving up 30, 40 points.
Not too much, man. Right,
so what's the point of being built around defense? Yeah, trading. Okay, fine. Trade Minkah Fitzpatrick. Fine. But TJ Watt's going to get you 2 1s. Now, listen.
For what do we do with 2 1s and we don't have Like, this is the shit I'm talking. And it's me. Like, I love, trying to get assets and whatnot. And, I've said numerous times, like, hey, maybe we trade Muth, maybe we trade Naj, maybe we trade this, maybe we trade that. Like, I've said this before, but to trade TJ Watt, like, it makes us dramatically worse. Like, so much worse. Because then we go from trading TJ Watt, say we get 2 first-round picks, and we got to hope we nail both of them. And mind you, this is for offense. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is, we use both these picks on our offense, maybe a quarterback and, whatever we need on offense, right? And then we look at defense. We're like 1 in 18 without TJ Watt. This same highest paid defense where TJ Watt eats like a majority of it. He doesn't eat the majority. Like, Cam and Minkah are also paid pretty high. Alex Highsmith as well is on a pretty big deal. But we take out TJ Watt and, like, we suck on defense. Like, it is just bad, right? And so it just doesn't make sense. Like, okay, I get but the reason why I even brought this up, like, 1, because the take itself is like trade TJ Watt is nuts, but 2, this is the narratives that people are getting off about us. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is like the shit that the media is saying about us. Like, we need to trade TJ Watt because our offense is so bad. I don't get it, man. I really don't get it. But, this is what Jason McIntyre thinks. Maybe if we do trade TJ Watt, then somehow, some way it'll make our offense better. It could. It definitely could, because we would get, a pretty high draft pick. A team in the top 10s trading a top 10 pick for TJ Watt is, something. Like, there's got to be a cook there. It's got to be the right situation once again, because TJ is third. Like, why would a team that's, like, bad just, like, want to get TJ? Isn't that us? Like, isn't that, like, why we traded him? Because, like, we can't get it together. And so, like, why would a team that's in our position, but just forgetting all of that, it just doesn't make sense. It just really doesn't make sense. And this take isn't serious. Like, I'm not, like, really debating this, like, should we trade TJ? Well, like, I'm not really doing that, because obviously we're not going to do that. But it's just more about, like, just the stupidity around the Pittsburgh Steelers and, like, the media and, like, what they're saying about us. And we look at Stephen A. had a bunch of takes about how bad we are, and, like, he's a Steelers fan. And you know what I'm like? It's just annoying that, like, people are not tapped in like they should. All we have to do is fucking block and complete some passes, and, like, we are a Super Bowl team. That is it. Like, complete some passes and block, and we are there, because the run game is there, the defense is there, and you take TJ Watt out of the defense, and the defense is fucking all the way over there. It is like, the defense should be there, and the defense, we take away TJ Watt, is all the way down there. Like, you know what I'm like? They are not there when TJ Watt is not there. So, trading TJ Watt is crazy, but we keep him. We keep TJ Watt somehow, and the defense is there. The offense is, like, going to be there in a second, and, like, we can just, like, we finagled our way into Justin and Russ. I'm assuming we'll re-sign one of the guys, but, like, if it's a question of, like, we're not going to have a quarter, like, we will fucking figure it out, man. Like, we are going to figure this shit out. Like, I don't know why people are looking at us like we're, like, the Tennessee Titans or some shit, or, like, the who else has been a bad team for just forever? Like, the Browns. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't think we're going to have a Browns arc where, like, we just suck for years and years and years. Like, I don't think that's, especially with the team that we have now. Like, I think we are a lot better than what people are saying about us. Like, I don't know. I feel like I've said the same things over and over and over again. I feel like I'm kind of repeating myself at this point. But just all in all, we are a better team than what people think. We don't need to trade TJ Watt, and our offense is going to show up. I think our offense is going to show up this season, man. I really do. But other than that, I think that is going to do it for this video, as I mentioned, because I am kind of ranting, and I apologize for the noise upstairs. That's kind of bugging me too, but it is what it is. Go Steelers, man. Like, I don't know exactly how I want to end this. Go Steelers. We finished 1-2 in the preseason. Russell Wilson, quarterback 1. We'll have to see how that goes in the regular season. I'm very excited. I am very excited for the Arthur Smith revenge game, man, in our first regular season action. So, once again, I think that is going to do it for me. If you guys are Steelers fans and you enjoyed this video, once again, be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. If you would like to support me more, hit that join button. And this has been Zaya from Zaya and the Steelers. Happy Saturday, everybody. And I will see you in the next video. Peace out.